Unfortunate news. Miss Muhammad violently stabbed her manager, Miss Harris, a mother of six, at the workplace due to lack of hours sending her home or misbehavior at the workplace. We can learn a lot from this. If you're not happy at your workplace or you're mistreating individuals, you should fix your situation, fix your circumstances. Um, I wish Miss Muhammad would have better people around her and a better way to explain her situation and how she felt verbally. Besides taking it to this extent level, now there's six kids, six daughters that's going to have to raise themselves without their mothers, and then Miss Muhammad will have to spend some time in prison due to her behavior, due to her situations when she was losing hours at work, and her living situation was bad as well. As we're learning, she rented a room from a person named Dwayne or Wayne, and he wanted to trade that for her body use due to lack of meals in her end. She was dealt the wrong cards. And we can all learn from this. Treat people with respect and love your neighbors as God says, in the Bible. And I've been in this situation many times, working for many companies. And one company in particular I would like to discuss in this video. Got this company called Gorilla's Delivery Service, delivery of food in 10 minutes, based out in New York City. My office was in Harlem, 125th Street. If you know, you know. And I was a delivery driver. I drove truck. I was recommended to work there by the manager, Mr. Perez. And they offered me $26 an hour to work at this establishment, which I did. I took, very happy that I was getting making $26 an hour. I could fix my situation in life. And when Mr. Perez found out, the manager, that I was getting paid $26 an hour, he became very envious and very angry and upset. And I thought he knew because once again he offered me the job position. I spoke to his family; they didn't want the job. I made sure because I would work out with them. I'm a professional bodybuilder, so I would work out with them. That's how they mentioned this position to me. When Mr. Perez found out that I was getting this wage, he became very jealous and furious. And he turned the entire warehouse on 125th Street against me. Everyone wanted to fight me. Everybody was with him. A person named Eric, I don't know his last name, called me out of my name more than 20 times almost every day. Never laid his hands on me, but he always verbally abused me at this company, and Mr. Perez as well. Mr. Perez even threw a cash register at me one time near my feet. It didn't hit me, but it hit near me, maybe a few meters or 1 feet away from me. But I wrote an email to the operational manager, his boss, and they terminated him. But I have been through bullying. I have been through working at places and being bullied by people who thought that was my friends and they was my managers as well. And I held my composure through the entire time I was there. There's probably times where I did lose my cool and I did want to fight, would go to the back because the reason why I didn't is that I fought at a job before when I was very young. I was about 16 going on 17. And I will make another video about that. And I learned my lessons from that first situation. So working at this establishment, when Mr. Perez turned everyone against me and everybody wanted to fight me, I knew what not to do and what to do. And I chose to be professional. As long no one didn't put their hands on me. No one didn't put their hands on me. And there was a person named CJ, which was his best friend at this time. They was also plotting against me. and then they included Eric and some other individual. I don't really remember their names. It was around 2021, 2022, and I was working there. So what, listening to the story and learning that the Miss Muhammad, Miss Harris situation, I felt like I should speak on my situation that I experienced before, being bullied by a manager. Not all managers are professionals. Some managers bring their mistreatment, they bring their misery from home to work, because it's how a person mentality and spirit is. If they spirit on the line or their mentality isn't mature, they're gonna do immature things. They're gonna do devilish things. And I was just grateful that I stayed with God and I stayed in a more mature area than Mr. Perez and CJ and Eric. And CJ is a big time, gangster. And people know him for what he could do causing violence. And CJ became out to be my cousin, my family cousin. We didn't see each other, CJ and I, for over maybe 20 years because CJ was in federal prison for a real long time. And I transformed my body and I grew up and I became a bodybuilder and other things. So CJ was talking to a siblings of mine where they mentioned my name. My name is Thomas. And he said, no, that cannot be my little cousin that I'm arguing with every day at the job. And it turned out that we was family. And that's one thing that also saved me through the grace of God. See how God works. That even I was going through things and I was ready to fight. He put a family member in the middle of the situation, but didn't even know that was my family until he spoke to one of my siblings and then to his grandmother, our grandmother, and we became very close family members again, and we started to talk back to the warehouse and defuse the situation where CJ said Mr. Perez made up these lies about Thomas saying all these things about everyone at the company. And I just want you guys to learn, if you're not feeling comfortable at a job, resign or get closer with God. Try to find a professional way to navigate through the situation until someone put their hands on you. And if someone comes up with a weapon, please protect yourself at all times, because we all trying to make a home to our family. We all go to work for our family and for God as well. And I wish, I wish that Miss Muhammad and Miss Harris situation never happened. But watching that, I had to speak up on the situation I was in, and they, you learn a lot from it. And Mr. Perez got laid off. He got fired for throwing the cash register at me. Then I got laid off due to the door trailer of a truck ripped apart. They thought I did it intentionally. I didn't. But even certain workplace like this place, Gorillas, was very unprofessional. And it was one of the worst companies I ever been employed by. And the operational manager dropped the ball on this company right here. Even Mr. Perez wanted to fight the operational manager at one time. Other employees wanted to fight the operational managers one time. And if any other Gorillas employees are watching this, please duet this video and let's talk about this situation. Let's talk about this past situation and how unprofessional this establishment was. Because I experienced torment working here. The money was not worth it, okay, of what I went through. I went through verbal abuse. I lost a lot of friends that I called brothers. I lost a mentor. But I gained a family member named CJ, and I gained an enemy named Eric, who will forever be my enemy. I forgive you. I forgive your actions. But I would never place my energy around you. And we owe each other a conversation with the knuckles. You know? I'm going to say it like that. Because you know what you said, and I know what I said. But someone puts the limit. And to the operational manager who never handled the situation properly, you know what you did. And that's why Gorillas does not exist today. Okay, Gorillas was shut down, filed for bankruptcy due to the unprofessionalism at this company. And unfortunate news that this had to happen. You know, ask for guidance. Ask someone how can you navigate through an unprofessional environment. And if you don't like the establishment, please look for a new job. Look for a new workplace. And just trust in the Most High God that He will find you something. All right? Because I have been in this situation. I have fought at a job, and I almost stabbed a person at my first job. And thank God I have good people around me to stop that. And that's why I do not fight at a job, or I try not to fight, period. Because I know the extent that I could take it to. And as we're learning, the charges that they are giving out to black men and black women is ridiculous. You know, and it's unfortunate she's not the mother. Miss Harris can't go home to her daughters, and her daughters cannot hug their mothers once again. Thank you for listening.